How to make a pie crust. 5 pro tips to perfect pastry. For many people, the thought of making a pie crust can be intimidating. Pies have been a staple in many cultures for centuries, with each having its own unique take on this delectable treat. The crust, often seen as the foundation of a good pie, can make or break the overall experience. While some might rely on store-bought options for convenience, there's a certain satisfaction and pride that comes from crafting a crust from scratch. Not only can homemade pie crusts elevate the flavor and texture of your pie, but they also offer an opportunity to infuse personal touches and creativity into your baking. Whether it's the flakiness, the golden hue, or the buttery flavor, perfecting the art of pie crust creation is a journey worth embarking upon. In this video, we'll show you step-by-step how to make a perfect pie crust that will elevate your dishes from everyday treats to masterpieces. From mixing the ingredients together to rolling out the dough correctly, we've got the tips and tricks you need for making delectable pies that are guaranteed crowd pleasers. So dust off those rolling pins and let's get started. Ingredients for the perfect crust. At the heart of every great pie is its crust, and the foundation of an impeccable crust is the right blend of ingredients. The homemade pie crust recipe that many bakers swear by comprises essential items like all-purpose flour, cold butter, shortening, and a pinch of salt. For those aiming for a flaky pie crust, the key lies in how you mix these ingredients. While some prefer the traditional method of using their hands, others find it efficient to use a stand mixer. It not only saves time, but ensures the flaky texture by evenly integrating the cold butter into the flour. Choosing between butter, shortening, or both. Your choice between butter, shortening, or a mix of both can alter the end result of your pie crust. An all-butter pie crust tends to be rich in flavor, but may not be as flaky as those made with shortening. On the other hand, shortening provides that sought-after flakiness, but might lack the depth of flavor butter offers. Using a combination of both can give you the best of both worlds. The basic recipe. For a single large pie crust, 2½ cups all-purpose flour, 1 cup butter, 1 teaspoon salt, 6 to 8 tablespoons cold water. No-fail pie crust in 5 easy steps. You'll love this foolproof method. 1. Mix the dry ingredients. Every delightful pie begins with the right foundation, the pie dough. I recommend starting with quality all-purpose flour and salt. For a standard pie crust, all-purpose flour, 2½ cups, salt, 1 teaspoon. In a large mixing bowl, whisk these dry ingredients together until they're uniformly blended. If you're going for a touch of sweetness, adding a teaspoon of sugar can elevate the flavor. 2. Cut the butter into the dry ingredients. Introduce the diced cold butter to the flour mixture. Here's where the magic happens. I prefer using a food processor for this task as it seamlessly incorporates the butter. Pulse until the mixture resembles coarse sand. Those tiny butter bits will melt during baking and result in the flakiness that pie lovers adore. 3. Add water. Add 6 to 8 tablespoons of cold water, 1 tablespoon at a time, while mixing or pulsing in the food processor. The exact amount of water can vary, so keep a keen eye out for a dough that's cohesive, but not overly sticky. Over the years, I've found that adding water gradually is the secret to achieving the perfect consistency. 4. Form a dough ball. Once your dough has the right texture, it's time to shape it. With gentle hands, bring the mixture together to form the dough into a ball. Ensure that it's uniformly combined, but take care not to overwork it. Overworking might lead to a tough crust, and that's the last thing we want. 5. Wrap and chill the dough. Take a piece of plastic wrap and place your dough ball in the center. Wrap it securely. Transfer this wrapped dough to the refrigerator and let it chill for at least an hour. This chilling process is vital. It allows the fats in the butter to solidify and ensures a flaky result when baked. After the dough is well rested and chilled, it's primed for rolling. On a floured surface, begin to roll the dough out, ensuring it's of uniform thickness. This step is pivotal for a consistent bottom of the crust when it bakes. Finally, when the dough is rolled to your desired thickness, gently drape it over your chosen pie pan or pie dish. Press it in, ensuring there are no air pockets, and it snugly fits the contours of the pan. Pre-baking. A step not to miss. For recipes where the filling cooks faster than the crust, like a deliciously spiced pumpkin pie or a juicy cherry pie bursting with flavor, pre-baking is crucial. This process involves partially baking the crust before adding the filling, ensuring that the final result is perfectly cooked and evenly golden. To prevent the crust from puffing up during this process, pie weights are typically used. However, if you find yourself without pie weights, fear not. Dried beans, such as kidney beans or chickpeas, can serve as an efficient and accessible alternative. Adapting the recipe. Double crust and different fillings. For pies that have both a bottom and top crust, such as a delicious homemade apple pie, you'll need to prepare a double crust. To achieve this, simply double the ingredients listed in your trusty Easy Pie Crust recipe and divide the dough into 2 equal portions, making sure that one ball is slightly larger for the base. Now, the exciting part begins, selecting the perfect pie filling to complement your delectable crust. Whether you're craving a classic apple pie bursting with cinnamon-infused apple slices, a tantalizingly tangy cherry pie with a buttery lattice top, or even a mouth-watering savory chicken pot pie boasting a golden crust, the possibilities are truly endless. The beauty of the Easy Pie Crust recipe lies in its versatility, allowing you to unleash your culinary creativity and craft a pie that truly speaks to your taste buds. So, gather your ingredients, roll up your sleeves, and embark on a delightful pie-making adventure that is sure to result in a scrumptious masterpiece. With the Easy Pie Crust recipe as your foundation, let your imagination run wild as you create a pie that will leave everyone craving for more. Pro tips for the perfect pie crust. For the best results, always ensure that your butter is cold when you make this recipe. Cold butter is crucial as it helps to create a flaky crust that will be absolutely delightful when baked to perfection. If you're feeling a bit unsure about making the pie crust from scratch, don't worry. Take some time to practice making the crust a couple of times without the pressure of making an entire pie. Remember, practice makes perfect, and soon you'll be a master at creating the most delicious and flaky pie crusts. When it comes to laying your top crust, don't forget to make small incisions on the surface. These tiny incisions will allow steam to escape during baking, preventing any possibility of a soggy crust. Crimping the edges of the crust isn't just for decorative purposes. It also serves the important function of sealing in the pie's delicious fillings. So, take your time and crimp those edges with care. Your pie will not only look stunning, but will also be perfectly sealed, ensuring a delightful eating experience. Lastly, it's important to remember that each pie has its unique baking time. Whether you're making a classic apple pie or trying out a unique pumpkin pie recipe, always refer to the specific recipe for accurate baking durations. This way, you'll achieve the ideal doneness for your pie, ensuring a scrumptious treat for everyone to enjoy. Personal touches and variations. While you're bound to fall in love with this mouth-watering recipe, the best part about baking is the freedom to make it uniquely yours. If you prefer an all-butter version, you can indulge in the rich buttery goodness that it brings. And why not take it a step further and experiment with adding a medley of aromatic spices to the pie crust dough? The warm and inviting fragrance will tantalize your senses and add an extra layer of deliciousness to your creation. Moreover, for those who crave a savory twist, consider infusing your crust with a delicate blend of fresh herbs. This is especially delightful when making pies with delectable meaty fillings. The subtle infusion of flavors will elevate the entire culinary experience, transporting you to a realm of taste sensations that are simply unforgettable. Finishing touches. Once your delicious pie is perfectly baked, there are countless ways to make it stand out and satisfy your taste buds. One delightful technique is brushing the crust with a beaten egg, which not only gives it a beautiful golden sheen, but also adds a touch of richness to every bite. And for those with a sweet tooth craving an extra layer of indulgence, sprinkling some sugar around the pie before baking creates a delightful caramelized crunch that will take your pie to the next level of mouth-watering perfection. Final thoughts. Making a pie crust from scratch might seem daunting, but the rewards are undeniably delicious. For many, discovering their favorite pie crust recipe becomes a delightful journey in the realm of baking. From the careful selection of ingredients to the gentle kneading of the dough, each step plays a pivotal role in achieving that perfect, flaky finish. Many bakers love this recipe not just for its taste, but also for the satisfaction it brings in mastering a fundamental baking skill. So, The next time you crave a homemade pie, embrace the process and revel in the joy of creating a pie crust that's a testament to your baking prowess.